Now, oh man, you've seen the title. NBA YoungBoy dissed King Von, and Lil Durk responded back with the quickness. Let's talk about it. Now, I'm sure you've seen a thing or two about it on social media, but NBA YoungBoy dropped a song the other day titled Bring the Hook, where he seemingly took shots at the late King Von. Lil Durk, of course, found out about it and dropped a little response to YoungBoy on social media. As for now, things haven't escalated further than that, but I don't see how this is gonna stop here. Like I said though, the YoungBoy song in question is titled Bring the Hook, and it dropped about 2 days ago. Let's start with checking out the actual lyrics, and let's check out the part where YoungBoy dissed King Von. This is what he says. Nigga, this that Squid Game, old black pack get rolled up, murder what they told us, Atlanta boy get fold up, nigga get your hoes up, these bitches throwing up green flags, throwing that NBA up for me, set you up to bust your ass, and I know I keep that murder bag, right on leave a toe tag, inside the freezer where them people put him before they stitch his ass. Let's go over the lyrics starting with the Squid Game bar. I actually haven't seen the show yet, but I do have an idea of what it's about. A bunch of adults are playing traditional children's games, they're competing for a large sum of cash, but what they don't know is that they're also playing for their life. Unlike me, YoungBoy must have obviously seen the show, so I guess, he's saying this that Squid Game, meaning you're playing with your life. The other lyrics was old black pack get rolled up. Pretty straightforward. He's saying I'm smoking that old black pack, which is anything but respectful. Second part was murder what they told us, Atlanta boy get fold up. King Von, who is not from Atlanta, Von was from Chicago, but he did get killed in Atlanta. This is obviously a reference to the death of King Von. Skipping that third line where he says get your hose up, that sounds like a filler bar. Same with that NBA line after that, although on that second part of that lyrics he does say set you up to bust your ass. That could most definitely be a reference to King Von's death. And then that murder bag line, pretty straightforward. As far as the toe tag line, that goes right along with someone being dead because, when a body's transferred to the morgue, in certain places they put a tag on a person's toes as a way to identify who the deceased is. Most likely another reference to King Von, and I actually think it for sure is because that next line was inside the freezer where them people put him before they stitch his ass. This is definitely a reference to King Von because do you remember that picture that was surfacing on social media of Von's dead body? If you haven't seen it, I strongly advise you to not check it out. I happened to see it by accident on Twitter, but the picture in question surfaced after someone who was working at the morgue Von's body was being transferred to took a picture of his corpse and shared it on social media. Goes without saying, but that person is a goddamn weirdo for that shit. Anyway, YoungBoy's line seems to be a reference to that. All in all, even though no names were mentioned, considering the old block line, old block is in Chicago, Von is from Chicago, the Atlanta part as well, Von got killed in the A, and considering the freezer plus toe tag bars, this is about Von. And Lil Durk obviously agrees with me because he did end up responding to YoungBoy on IG. Durk posted this photo on IG where, as you can see, he's posted up with a King Von canvas. The caption of the photo was, "Don't claim it if you ain't do it. You're still a bitch. The voice." He didn't say no names, but I think it's safe to assume that it is a response to YoungBoy because YoungBoy obviously didn't take out King Von, but Quando Rondo's homie Lil Tim did. So Durk is essentially saying don't claim a kill if you didn't do it, and actually, you're a bitch. This is where this entire situation ends though, for now. I know a lot of people look at these kind of situations, as a source of entertainment, but I don't really see how this shit is entertainment at all. It is a part of the genre and has been for decades, and I guess that's why some people tune into hip hop, to see situations like these going down. And even though it doesn't affect the listener, it does have real life consequences for other people. That's the sad part, because this doesn't stop at YoungBoy saying what he said, Durk responding, and then we're never gonna hear about it again. This is a straight path to a body or bodies dropping from opposing sides. This is not really related to this particular situation, but last summer Lil Durk lost his brother D-Thing after someone gunned him down. Why that happened, I don't know, but what I do know is that Lil Durk has gone out of his way to diss a lot of dead people, and what comes with that is someone trying to settle the score by taking out your people. That's something to think about. And you got to keep in mind, just because someone is affiliated with OK Trey, that's YoungBoy's people, or OTF, that's Lil Durk's people, that doesn't necessarily make them a part of whatever street shit YoungBoy or Durk are talking about. It could literally just be a friend of a friend who's cool with Durk and his crew. They always pull up to the music videos Durk shoots when he's in a city. They might even have OTF in their Instagram handle as a way to show respect, but really they work a regular job, they got a family to take care of, but now they're in danger because shit is popping off between YoungBoy and Durk because they're affiliated with OTF, but really they're innocent. As a matter of fact, they're not really in the streets like that. Whether or not it's a wise decision to be affiliated, knowing what could come with it. That's another conversation. The point I'm trying to make, innocent people will be affected by this kind of beef, so this shit is not entertainment, it's real motherfucking life. Also, fans on opposing sides are constantly, man, just always instigating a lot of these situations. That's something Polo G said back in 2020 on this tweet right here when he said, "We're living in an era where toxic fans play a big part in instigating or escalating beefs." I agree with Polo 1000%. I mean, this couldn't be more true. Contrary to what most people think, these rappers are on social media. They see everything. So fans could very much escalate a beef between two rappers who don't have any issues to begin with by simply starting, as an example, a fake rumor. In this Lil Durk and YoungBoy situation, King Von is of course the source of this entire beef. Quando Rondo, who's a good friend of YoungBoy, was right in the middle of this entire thing because Lil Tim, Quando's friend, was the person who killed King Von. So YoungBoy, Quando, Lil Tim, they're all in the same camp. On the other side, we of course have Durkio, Von, O Block, Chicago in general. Anyone who's on the other side can't fuck with the other side and vice versa. So now we go from Durk and YoungBoy throwing shots at each other to potentially this one beef essentially starting a war between the opposing sides. The issue with these kinds of beefs is there's simply no end to the madness. Unless someone from each side, Durk or YoungBoy, bury the hatchet, this is most likely gonna go on for the next decade, and it will continue for as long as it can continue. In the process of that, a lot of people could get killed. That's the nature of these things. In a perfect world, Durk and YoungBoy come together and dead the beef. That would greatly diminish the likelihood of any kind of retaliation happening from both sides. Nothing is guaranteed, of course, but when you have two very influential rappers who both come from the streets throwing shots at each other in this kind of fashion, it automatically has an effect on what goes on in the streets and whether or not more people from opposing sides get killed and whatnot. I did say in a perfect world for a reason because that's most likely not going to happen. The death of King Von, I think, just holds way too much weight in this case since it was Quando's friend, Lil Tim, who killed Von. NBA YoungBoy is of course cool with Quando Rondo and Lil Tim. All three of them are repping the same thing, while Lil Durk, who's on the other side, lost someone who's dear to his heart as a result of what their mans did. It's unfortunate, man, because like I said earlier, this could lead to people getting killed if it escalates. I hope it doesn't escalate and I hope nobody gets killed. But yeah, NBA YoungBoy disses King Von and Lil Durk responds back. Any thoughts on this entire beef that's going on between YoungBoy and Durk? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.